Hello, all. Um, y'all know me. I'm Natural, and I am here to basically give a video rundown of some of the things that you may have read in our introduction about our child. For those of you who are close and dear and near and far, you guys found out that we were pregnant just as we did, either back in March or subsequent to that. And it was not long after that we decided we would go ahead and have a baby. D. Jones and I didn't expect this child. We didn't plan for it. We were not trying or attempting for it. And to be completely honest, after making it to 34 years without children, neither he or I expected a child. Um, but we were blessed to find out that we were pregnant and quite readily accepted that we would soon be parents. Time progressed pretty rapidly from March on. We determined really early on that we were going to name our child Legacy. Legacy Noel if it was a boy, and Legacy Joy if she was a girl. And we did find out in July that we were having a little boy. So, if all goes well, we intend to bring Legacy Noel Zanders Jones into the world in mid to late November. However, at the same time that we were told that we were having a son, we found out that our son is suffering from a condition called congenital diaphragmatic hernia, short CDH. We were really surprised about it. We didn't have much of an understanding of it right away, and it was very easy to kind of assume that this was something, because we hadn't heard of it, that was either going to be extremely bad or something that was extremely minor. Unfortunately, that was not so easy to figure out once we were actually informed as to what the disorder means. Congenital diaphragmatic hernia does affect approximately 1 in 2,500 children worldwide on an annual basis, and 1,600 of those cases happen here in the United States. What it means, in layman's terms, is that baby Legacy's diaphragm did not fully develop. Babies' diaphragms tend to develop around the 8 to 12 mark, somewhere between the 8 to 12 mark time frame. And most babies that are diagnosed while in utero, you find out somewhere between 18 and 22 weeks with the second trimester ultrasound. Because I was determined to be high risk early on, we actually had a few ultrasounds before that, and it wasn't until his 21st week visit that they were able to see that his diaphragm had not developed. CDH can happen on the right side of the diaphragm, the left side of the diaphragm, or on both sides of the diaphragm. Very rarely it occurs in either the front or the rear of the diaphragm. The diaphragm being that very large muscle which protects your lungs and all of your upper organs and makes it possible to do things like breathe and hiccup properly. Because his CDH is on the right side, baby Legacy's chances are affected greater. The statistics show that right side CDH tends to be more of a problem for children than left side CDH, and because his is on the right side, his lower organs, including his liver, have shifted into his chest cavity and are at this time preventing the full development of his lungs. His right lung is developing at a more rapid pace than his left lung, and the liver is a bit overgrown because of moving into the chest cavity. We found out quite soon after that Legacy would have to have surgery. What they do is put the children usually onto a machine which is called ECMO, ECMO, and this machine pumps surfactant and blood into the baby's lungs as soon as they are born to help them develop before the child is breathing on their own, and thus it is also attached to a breathing machine. Some children don't ever have to go on ECMO when they are born, and some children stay on ECMO for a very long time because their lungs are extremely compromised. After his lungs are stabilized, he would have a surgery to place his lower organs back into his abdomen as opposed to having them in his chest cavity, and his diaphragm would be repaired. But that can only happen if his lungs develop properly. So this is how CDH has affected legacy. As a disorder, it varies from child to child, and there is no standard or static. As I said in the blog, some children have extremely severe cases of it where their lungs are very underdeveloped and somehow they survive and thrive. And some babies have very mild cases of it and don't survive. The statistics tend to be right at about 50-50. And there is no determination at this point in time that Legacy's chances are any better than that. In fact, for our first visit to Cincinnati, we were told that his chances are somewhere between 30 and 50% at that time. We do have another trip down to Cincinnati on the 27th of September, where we will learn whether or not his lungs have developed any more than they were originally. The hope, of course, is that they have. In utero, he is extremely strong, and that is also a very good sign for CDH babies. It seems to be the harder they fight, the better their chances. And for those children who are just too tired to take on the fight, they do tend to pass away. There is a strong possibility that Legacy will not survive. And this is something that's having a very deep impact on DNI. However, we have decided to fight. We've decided to give Legacy every opportunity that he has at survival, and that's going to require quite a bit of attention from us and devotion from us, but it's also going to require quite a lot of fight from Legacy. So we did have a visit today where I was essentially placed on bed rest. I am not to be doing anything else strenuous for the remainder of my pregnancy. Those people who are closest to us know we've had an extremely strenuous summer. We're very pleased that we've made it this far in the pregnancy, considering what we've encountered over the summer. It's been a really rough summer for us, but things are looking up, and we're looking forward to our next visit down to Cincinnati and hoping that we get some bigger and better news. This is a very brief version or I guess explanation of what CDH is, and we really don't want anyone to trivialize it. Our goal, of course, is to have baby Legacy come home happy and healthy and well, and we want everyone to understand that there is a possibility that he will not, that he will never leave the hospital. We are not wallowing in that by any means. We definitely believe that God and the universe are going to have their way with Legacy, and that it is going to very much be up to God and him once he is born as to whether or not he survives. But with that being said, that is why we decided to set up the WordPress blog and the donation page in lieu of, having baby showers and things of that nature. We are pretty certain he will not make it home in time enough to enjoy toys, gifts, and clothes that would suit him from 0 to 3 or 0 to 6 months. He's probably not going to be one of those tiny babies anyway. He's already weighing in at 3 pounds and 15 ounces, which is just about a pound more than what he should be, based on averages. But, while we hope at some point we will need to get, cribs, bassinets, car seats, etc., etc., we expect that he's going to spend his first few months of life in the hospital, and the hospital will provide all of his needs in that regard: diapers, pacifiers, blankets, etc., etc. It would benefit us and Legacy quite a lot more to, instead of having people shop for items for us, to just provide us with the funds that they intended on investing in those things. With all the trips that we're going to have to take to Cincinnati, and me definitely being down there on a pretty permanent basis until he's ready to come home. D, traveling back and forth, we need all of the help with resources that we can get. So, hopefully we're wrong and things go really quickly and we can turn all this around and reinvest it into a beautiful bedroom for Legacy. Um, but at the end of the day, we think that the resources would be better served if donations were made instead of gifts. I guess that's it for now. Dee's on the other side of the camera, so hopefully there'll be an opportunity for us to share together. I presume that I'll be posting more video blogs than typed blogs on the website because it's easier to just talk about things than it is to sit down and try to type it out. I get really wordy either way, so I hope that I don't bore you guys to death. But while this isn't in our nature to expose ourselves and to put our lives out in this fashion, we think it's important for everyone who cares about us and wants the best for us to know who Legacy is before he's born, just in case things don't go well. And of course, also if things do. This is an opportunity for documentation either way, and that's something that we have a passion for. So we're willing to put it to the side that it's us and our lives, and to allow you all to love our child as much as we do. Before he makes it into the world, he needs as much support as he can possibly get. So, thanks for listening.